Hello everyone, welcome to the Lost Shipyard. I'm your host Nitsify. I'm the DM of the Monster Campaign. And welcome. Welcome to the Monster Campaign, in case you didn't know. I felt like that's pretty obvious considering I literally just told you what it is. We have my co-host and also the player of the campaign, sleep-deprived Acrid. He plays Count Dragos. We love to see it. For those who don't know, the Monster Campaign started off with a little guy as a little fire lizard monster that had like 6 HP in the dream, if I remember right. And he's just been basically working with Count Vaughn, the god of the moon and the undead, to essentially create an entire kingdom of monsters that have evolved into full-on monster-ish species. So, he is currently working on building up an army to eventually, hopefully, attack the kingdoms on the island so he can take over the island, because that's kind of the objective of this campaign. But in case you don't remember, in the last episode, because it has been a little bit, because I was on vacation, and then I think we missed a week before the vacation too, because man needed sleep, which is completely valid. Um, yeah, he was out. He was fucking out for a good bit there. Yeah, in the last episode, y'all put the people that you beat the fuck out of, in the mines, aka the Satyr and the Duragar. You took all of their equipment. And you also took, like, the left arm off of this poor fucking Satyr. So he's just missing an arm permanently now, because it was a mechanical arm. And you gave it to a Kitsune and said, here. That was it. Um... You did. You did. You also got. Mia also came back from the village after sending her out with the two people that she wanted to, keep from getting hurt in the village, aka the kobold mythling that gave you armor temporarily for that one quest to kind of help you out, and the biggest legend of them all, Bob. What the fuck did Bob do to you? That's fucked up. He actually probably doesn't have to breathe. He's a plasmoid, so breathing isn't. Yeah. Damn. We also have Bulldog. You won over the first ever monster to come out of the ruins, which was a Bulldog, which is like a dynasty-based mimic that just sits in a bowl of it basically took a giant vase and made it its clothing, and constantly makes infinite ramen for itself. But yeah, you guys did that. You were talking about going to go find the cat dragon, but after talking very lightly, literally just right before we started this session, because I was double checking to make sure you still wanted to do that. Little swap of plans. Man's going to be sending out Count Dragos to go scout it out to figure out what the cat dragon actually is, to see if it's worth going for. Because he's not too because Acrid wasn't too sure if it's going to be like a small, tiny little cat with dragon wings, or if it's going to be some actual, like, proper monster. So, which is valid. It's valid. And what's your plan from here? I know you talked about wanting to go possibly for the snow troll. You also talked about wanting to go for those massive shark-like people in the pond. Yes. Yeah, you talked about wanting to bring a male Volocite and the Kitsune. The Kitsune that you gave the mechanical arm to, if I remember right. I know, like 2 weeks ago, you also talked about possibly bringing the evolved Snowtail with you. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, okay, gotcha. So you're bringing a random Merxin, a random Follicite, and the Bullyog. Gotcha. I do not have a picture for the random Merxin because I was not aware that you were going to be bringing a Merxin, but I was aware of the Follicite, so I actually have a sheet for that character. it was it was more of like you mentioned like I might, and then there was never a confirmation. Yeah, yeah. For those who don't know, I literally just got back from vacation like a day ago, so like I didn't have a lot of time to prep. um, I will send the picture of the Follicite, the male Follicite, that will be coming out of the mines to accompany you during this time, as he is a monk way of the shadow. Um, yeah, what a gentleman, I know, right? I know. I'm gonna get the picture up on OBS. Ignore currently that there's just a random admiral up on OBS. I did not have time to set this up ahead of time. If you're gonna start screaming at me, let me know. However, also, yeah, you know what? Type in the comments on how mad you are. I don't care. I'll fight you. I'll fight you. We'll meet up at Walmart, 10:30 p.m. Fucking fight me, I dare you. But you can see this like male fall. It's like kind of black hair, kind of shaggy hair. Not really well kept because he doesn't care. And then like just black ripped up overalls with like some chains up on the side areas of the pockets. Not really any shirt like to go with it. He basically just took probably some poor dwarf or other miners like random clothing. Didn't bother to grab the shirt, just took the overalls and said mine. um yeah, so he does that and he brings he brings a pickaxe with him. Again, I don't think I have to describe the rest of the Fallicites. Fallicites, they have kind of that purple gas-like body with the kind of like crystals that kind of float throughout their body. So that much is relatively well known. But yeah. So, which one's you going for? Big fish guy or troll? Mm-hmm. I can hear that brain going. Yeah, yeah. They're trying, they're trying. They're doing what they can with the bit of energy they have. I do want people to let people know, I literally did offer him, like, hey, are you gonna be good for today? And he was like, I got this. I'm like, I. So understand, I'm not forcing him at gunpoint. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Uh, Fit? Are you going for the fish in the pond, the big guys, or are you going for the ice troll? That is fair. That is fair. It's kind of that weird thing. You're already somewhat in the snow as it is. It's just that's gonna be worse. Because like you're constantly doing with like a light sheet, like a very thin sheet of snow. This is more like you when you head in that area, you'd be dealing with like all right, it's like 2 to 3 inches, maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow. It's just the most like eh. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, you can spend the half a day going down the mountain to head over and make your way to that pond that you remember oh so dearly. I'm not gonna make you roll survival checks because you guys would know where it's at. Yeah. Random. Yeah, you can just kill a random deer on the way. I guess actually you'll need to roll a survival check to find a deer, but sure, yeah, you can do that. Also, for unknown reasons, I suddenly have a Merkson picture for the Merkson you have. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. For unknown reasons that will not be explained ever. I will be sending the picture. What? Yeah, okay. Let me get it up on OBS for people. Yeah, so it's just like as like you're like walking down this mountain, man, right? As you're walking. So like it's this crazy thing of Count Vaughn was kind of just obscuring what the Merkson looked like to you. Like, he was like, ha, wouldn't it be funny if you just don't know who you're working with? Ha. And then, like, it's just, like, you slowly start seeing more of a figure. Because, like, before, you couldn't even, like, pick out, like, the physical body type of this Merkson. Like, you were Yeah. Like, it was like looking at, like a shade. It was just black mist. Like, just a blob. And then, like, it slowly started taking more the shape of a slender form with, like, a slight hourglass going on. And a little bit more of a heavier hourglass. Very slender body type. And you start to see it's like, okay, there's a bit of chest going on there. There's a little bit there. You know, there's something going on there. And then you start noticing she's got these purple glowing eyes. And, like compared to the other Merkson, like, she's got slightly darker blue skin. She has a bunch of scars, like, on her right arm, and even one underneath her eye, her right eye. She has an eye patch on her left eye. Now, whether that's just for accessory is debatable. And she fucking won't tell you. She has a pirate captain's hat that she is just wearing with a massive skull that's embedded on it. I'm not saying like a sewn in onto the hat Jolly Roger. No, it's a literal skull. Probably from an imp by the size of the skull. And then this like glowing blue, like not glowing blue, but like very like bright blue hair that's insanely wavy and even has a little bit of some curls in some random areas. It goes all the way down to her hips. And she's wearing, like, a black crop top that, like, it's one of those, like, ones where, like, it's a crop top where, like, it doesn't go over the shoulders. Like, it doesn't have any sleeves. It doesn't, like, strap on like a tank top, but it kind of, like, basically just wraps around the body. It probably has, like a latch that you take off on, like, the back to pop off the thing. Meaning it might just have a fucking zipper or something. But, it basically just covers like, the main chest, but still showing cleavage, and then covering a portion of her stomach, but you can still see her belly button. And then just black pants that are fairly well form-fitting, and then, like, a brown leather belt. So she took this from a pirate. This is probably one of the newer deceased pirates that they probably found, because that clothing's in good condition. Also, just golden jewelry. Like, she has golden necklace and, like, just a lot of golden jewelry that she has. You get the feeling she's probably a warlock. Yeah. Should be fine. Oh, man. God, I gotta make this character. I gotta give them a name and everything now. Isn't that just great? That's awesome. Okay. But yeah, you can make your way on down. What was that survival check, by the way? Mm-hmm. Heck yeah! I need a roll to see if this lady's blessed by Vilva. Have you been blessed by Vilva? D10. She has a 4. She has not been blessed by Vilva. But she was close, so Vilva at least looked at her and went, maybe, but not yet. What? You see what happens, see if she looks any better. If she starts, like, you know, like, getting a little bit more of a glow up, maybe then. I want to mention, that implies that she has some insanely high standards for this specific Merkson. Because she already, has, like, is looking fairly well, considering what she is. Just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like you're like walking, you know, you're walking and like at like halfway through the pond, you see this like you see like three deer that like they stop and they freeze and stare at you. Uh, yes. Do you want to tell one of them to do something? Uh, Shut it. Follow sites. You you would yeah, you'd see him just kind of give you that nod, and he would just kind of like stealth. Just a simple, you got it, boss. Okay, bye. Anything you say. Mm-hmm. God. Ah, yeah, like, it's like 60 feet away. You would see as the follow site would basically, just disappear with his 24 in stealth. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, no, he very quickly just goes, I got it, and poof, fucking, uh-huh. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh god, yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. You see the Folosite appear behind two of the deer, raise his, like, pickaxe, and doesn't bring it directly down. No, no, no. He cleaves the two of them and, like, basically rips open one of their necks and then drags the pickaxe down the other one's spine with this cleave. As they both let out this like screech and then fall to the floor because they literally cannot move after a hit like that. As they begin bleeding out. And then you would see the robot just go, huzzah, and fucking Eldritch Blast just takes off the head of the other deer. So you now have 3 deer. Hmm? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, it's just chilling. Like, it's just stood there, just eating it's like ramen. Yeah, like it was just chilling. It was like as if it was just watching a show, honestly, with the way it was just kind of standing there. Like uh god. If he was intelligent is debatable. It seems to have paid off. I gave the warlock the lustful patron, and I actually have to reread this because I don't remember what all they get. Your soul simply just being possessed by your patron slowly become influencing you from time to time. You would gain random intrusive thoughts that would be considered just a tad inappropriate. It seems the mindset of your patron is slowly affecting you. You gain expertise on persuasion performance checks, as well as immunity to psychic damage. Ah, grand. Psychedelic ass shaking? Huh? Okay, whoa. Yeah, you know what? I'll read that when she uses it. Um. Oh yeah, yeah. So like, I was sitting here, I was like, okay, what patron fits for the Merkson? And I had to sit there, and it was hitting me. I was like, you know what makes sense? Vilva, because she's literally the person that has sat there and gone, I might bless your race every now and then. You might just randomly get my blessing. Exactly. Okay, buddy, okay, let me ask you a question. What cantrips do you want her to have? She is Eldritch Blast. She's already used that. Because, like, I can give her stuff, and we can just call it there. Or you can have some stuff that's catered to actually helping you. For whatever it is that you're specifically aiming for. Okay, so better green flame blade. Eldritch Blast. And her other cantrip, D&D Beyond, I press learn. Please register the fact that I press learn. It froze up the entire page. I don't know what's been going on with them recently, but I hate making warcasters now. Or not warcasters, just casters. Because they freeze the fuck up anytime I try to add a singular spell. As of late, their page has been doing this. And I don't know why. Does she not get resistance? Oh, they don't get resistance. I was gonna give her resistance because she'd be able to like give you resistance to like a damage type for like a turn. Like that would actually be useful, but apparently that is not thing. Um, so instead she'll get Blade Ward. All right. But yeah, no. You guys can start making the rest of your way down to the pond. And hell yeah. So, I guess the question is, how do you want to deal with this pond thing? What's your plan here? Because you can just walk up to the pond, sure. But like, how do you want to do this? How do you want to approach this situation? Hello? Okay. Yeah. No, it's fair. It's fair. There was like a weird silence, and I was like, "Did he lose connection? I did he fall asleep? Yeah, like." Oh, but of course. Alright. Uh, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. That is a valid, like, alright, I'm trying not to piss you off. But also I am trying to like make a talk, like make conversation with you. How do I do the both? Yeah, that's that weird, like, I gotta find a balance of these two, and that's not gonna be an easy thing. Yeah. Right! I need to roll the thing to see if Vilva messes around, because this is the last session, because by now Selena would finish her thing, but she gets that one last roll. Okay, Vilva, what you doing? Alright, the Mercson's blessed. That's like weirdly convenient. Oh god, okay. But yeah, no, so you, yeah? That might be, yeah, go for it. Dude, they just have such insane vision. It's like everyone else. Like, I have 20/20 vision. I have 30/20 vision. What? No, that's not how that works. Oh, yeah? You see that plane? Yeah, I can kind of see it. That has approximately, from what I can count, 27 windows on one side. Motherfucker, how you seeing that? Like I said, 30/20 vision. Oh man. Okay. I'm writing down her stats. Bing bong. Okay, and I can go back to her race and give her blessed. Um, not blessed. Womp womp. There you go. So since she's blessed, she now gets a +1 to her charisma. Her body's bulkier now than what it would have been, and your bones become unbelievably strong. It is near impossible to break any of your bones, as you become basically immune to injuries. Not directly immune, but like you've got a good like resistance against getting possible injuries, and you're able to deal double damage to structures. Only applies when using melee. And you have learned to alter the hymn you hum, granting her the witch's psalm. All right, there we go. I've got her kind of like pre-made, very speedily made, but she's there. But yeah, so you put down this deer. And, oh boy. Yeah, so, that deer, I'm just gonna, I guess, just roll a perception check for them. Because you didn't really do anything to alert them. So like, you basically just put down the deer. And you're putting it, like, I guess, on the edge of the water, from my understanding? Gotcha. Yeah, I'll be real because I was gonna say like if you didn't, what was gonna happen was that the Merkson was gonna look to you and just like kind of like stroll over and just kind of push like the open wound, like the probably the one with like the cut off head, like into like the pond. Like, all right, let me just get just enough, like just get some of that blood in there. No, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's very fitting. Oh man. Dude. So you start seeing rippling in the water as as though like basically the ripples become waves as like the water begins to shake aggressively. You know they're coming. That is a guarantee that they're on their way. Um Got it, boss. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I know. Oh yeah, no, like it's valid. Like he understands. He's like, okay, I get it. It's not something we should fight. I understand, but god damn it, I really want to kill something. Yeah, yeah. It's that weird thing with Falsites. They have a natural bloodlust. They're honestly in the same boat with like orcs in the fact that they have like essentially almost a curse when it comes to the bloodlust part. So they're kind of that spot of like, I know it'd be beneficial not to kill, but god damn it. I'm hearing voices again. Oh man. But yeah. You thought the voices for the Griegers were bad. Oh man. But yeah, no. You would see like two eyes rise from the water. As you can see, like the head doesn't shift, and he doesn't raise any more of the body. Like it's just enough of the head, which doesn't take much for this thing, for it to get its eyes over the water. And you can see it just kind of like scan with its eyes around. As it just kind of scans like the area. It doesn't seem to see any of you. I'm using like your passive stealth for this. But like it didn't roll well, so you're fine. As it would begin to slowly make its way to the deer. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. that c- Yeah, no, it's fair because it's like, alright, you step out before. Alright, well, it assumes you're trying to take its food that it found. But like you would see, you just let me know when you want to jump in, and I'll just keep narrating it. How about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So you step out as it's like actively grabbing one of the deer by the legs and kind of lifting it with one of its arms. Yeah, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Possibly. Yeah, like if you step out, it's holding the deer, and it just kind of like it doesn't really move its head, but it's rather that it like moves its eyes to the corner to look at you. just the grunt. Not yet. Yeah, it's quite literally a, you have a persuasion check, man. Make it count. You see it basically lifts the deer and it bites into the leg, just tearing out a chunk. And it'll chew for like a good bit before it finally responds. Yeah, this is fair. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hello, air conditioning. But yeah, that's fair. Yep. Oh, God. So... Yeah. So you see it look to you and just go, how? You get the idea. It's probably asking how when you were saying the whole like, hey, evolution, we boost you type of thing. It's asking how. God no give food. You can give a persuasion check. Okay. 24. So, with a 24, it would look to you, tear another chunk out of this deer, chew, and swallow. And it would look to you, and it would just go, come back with fighter. I fight them. If they win, I join. So you can basically choose to fight him, or you can send one of your people that you currently have with you, or go back and bring someone that you want. But his offer is a simple, meet me in the middle ground, show me that this is worth, that your evolution actually does something. Beat me. Dude, nah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, like, if you want someone that's tanky that does a lot of damage, you have Sir Urzog, weirdly enough. Like, that might be your best shot? But if you want the glass cannon option, you have Zugog, who just does an obscene amount of damage. He's just gotta not get hit. Yeah. There, there is... There is also Countess Leary, who is your, like, resident barbarian. That is also an option. Dude, Bob would be such a weird fucking fight for this guy. Because Bob's one of the slimes, because the slime people that are infected in my world, there's two types. There's ones that, if they touch water, they literally start to, like, actually take damage. Because their body's not made, they don't have that water outer layer. Like, they're pure acid. So their body, like, basically starts, like, falling apart. But then there's ones like Bob and Ublex, who, like, they touch water and they start absorbing the water. So it's everything. You put Bob in the pond, and you see him just start getting bigger over time. It's like, okay, oh god, oh we have a colossal Bob. dude, fucking reverse psychology. My evolution, deception check. I mean, you'd have an advantage on deception check like that, I would imagine, because it wouldn't fucking know. Like, it would be more of, like, if it, like, beat the deception, it'd be less of, like, I know you're lying, to more just, I don't trust that. My animal instinct says, fuck you. Yeah, that's that weird, like, thing. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So you... Yeah? Yeah. No, that's fair. That's actually fair. I'd probably roll an actual combat for you, unless you wanted me to speed it up and do it that way. Yeah, I did that because we had a lot of fights that we wanted that we had to do in the gladiator fight, and it was less of some of the people didn't really know or just didn't care about, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it the option. That's why y'all had the option to speed up the fights. But yeah, fair, fair. Yeah, I will let you know. You do get this feeling that if you can win this thing over, you will level up. So, do you want to understand exactly what this thing actually is? So, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Um, oh yeah. So like the thing is, and it understands like it's that thing like yes, it's an aggressive creature. Yes, it's territorial. Yes, like there's all this stuff. As long as you're giving this thing food, it'll give you time. Like it doesn't. It's not like a overly ravenous thing where it's like it's tearing through the food quickly, so you don't have much time. It's like nah, it's taking its time. Like this is food. Um. So what this thing is it is specifically a lake ogre. So yeah, yeah. I would re-put the. I don't have a reason to re-put the image back up onto OBS, but just as a quick reminder to people, it also goes by the name of the Egglolic. It's the massive fish with the hunchback and like this thing stands at like around 12 feet in height. Like it's a big motherfucker. Um, yeah, it's just a very bulky creature. Like dorsal fin going down the back, like rows of sharp teeth. So it isn't a trollkin, so you at least know it won't regenerate. It doesn't have the regen trait that like trolls would have. But ogres are their own type of beast, cause they're just brutes. Yeah. Nope. They don't. That is valid. So detail page wise, you would know first of all this thing does double damage to structures. So there is that. Second thing, that tail, it has a tail attack that it typically can do, where it swings that tail and it cleaves. It acts like a cleave, so it doesn't just hit the person in front of it, but it hits the person to the left and the right of that area. So it was like Mollus's it was like Mollus's sword, that sword that he had, the scrap sword, where you could cleave like the 3 blocks in front of him from left to right. Yeah. So it has a strike like that with the tail, and that does like a D12, like minimum. It would also knock you like a good 5 to 10, 15 feet back, counting on the size of the creature. Since you're small, it would probably knock you back 15 feet. Um, a large would have only gone back 5 feet, and a medium would have gone back 10 feet. On top of that, it does have some light water magic. Not a lot, but it's more of just like, as long as there is water that it can be near and manipulate, it can take the water and basically launch it at you like a blast, like a hydro pump, essentially. So it does have a way of dealing with ranged enemies. That's probably how it kills, like, any, like, ranged monsters that try to attack its home. It doesn't seem to have any weapons on it, but sometimes these things will carry, like, basically, like, weapons made out of bones. Typically, they'll make, like, a massive spear. That's like, oh, a spear, it does, like, a D8, D6, around there. But this thing's spear would be doing, like a D10, like, probably, like, 2D10. But it wouldn't normally just, like, throw, like, like, stab at people with it. It would just throw it. And then you have this claw attack. It's, like, overly, like, boxy claw attack, which is, like, a D12. So it's that weird thing of like, it doesn't have a lot of low damage things. It's just a lot of high damage and just pure brute. That its AC would probably be around like a 16 due to just natural armor. And if it's killed, it'll release just like toxic like gas essentially from its body. Mm. Yeah. That is fair. What are your current stats right now? Yeah. All right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's just you gotten unlucky. Yeah. 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 uh it's kind of sad, but yeah. Like it's not even because like they have like really good traits. It's just that you've just rolled bad with people. Yeah. It would like it's okay if you want to come back to this place later. You could also straight up just like possibly try and like just go hunting for shit and just see what you can find for yourself to try and boost yourself. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I know you might be like, oh, but that'd be metagaming. I mean, part of the point of this whole gimmick with your character is literally just, I eat things so I can be bigger and stronger type of thing. So, like, I wouldn't be mad at you, like, at all. Yeah, at this point, he's definitely, like, gotten done eating that deer. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. 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 No, that's fair. That is fair. You you'd see it give you that nod. Just that very light, silent nod. And then it grabs you see as you guys are probably starting to head back. It grabs the other two deer and chucks them into the water. And you see the other one's hand grab the two bodies and drag it into the water. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. So, hey. here's the thing. You would see the follow-site male kind of look to you and just go, "Why'd you back down?" You would see him tear one of the crystals out of his body. Hi, Rena. Eat it. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, God. Now, real quick, my headphones are coming off. You entertain them for half a second. What I'm having to do is that Rena walked up to me, right? And she was like, hey, give me attention. I was like, why? And I looked over, and her food bowl had, like, no food. So she's now getting food. You might actually not even end up needing to actually do the entertainment because I already got her the food, so now I can put my headphones back on. Okay, hi. Oh, my bad. Okay, so you can either end up getting a +2 to your strength score. You could end up learning terrain. Terrain, yeah. You could end up getting the resistances and senses, which would give you resistance to non-magical piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage. You gain immunity to poison and vulnerability to thunder. We're not going to give you vulnerability to shit. So, you could either get... We'll do this. You could either get... Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So instead what we'll do, you're going to get one of each resistance type. So you could either get piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning, or you could get immunity to poison. So that's like 4 different things right there. That way you have a really good shot of possibly getting a resistance. Because resistances are actually good for you, especially an impossible immunity. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Ooh, would that be possible? I mean, yeah, no, it's evolutionary. Literally anything, you can literally gain in anything. So yeah, no, you could gain their, like, ability to literally shift into gas temporarily. So you can fit through an area as tight as 2 inches in width. So you get the rocky shifting ability. Let's see, what else? Petrifying claws. So you could gain these long claws that would do a d8 of force damage on a strike instead. No, they do the unarmed strike and then they add an additional d8 of force damage. And the target would have to roll a con save, and if they fail, they become petrified for a singular turn. So basically just like a very brittle layer of rock forms over their body temporarily. And even after the petrification, there's like temporary debuffs that they have to deal with for like the next turn. Like their movements they're unable to use their reactions, and they literally cannot have any healing spells or potions that will affect them. So they just can't heal for a turn. Dude, that'd be fucked. Also, the last one, combustive bodies. So that brings you to a d8. Combustive bodies, when you're hit with fire damage, anyone within 5 feet of you has to roll a dex save. Otherwise, they're going to get hit from your body blowing up. Dealing a d8 of fire damage to anyone that's around you that failed to save, and they're knocked prone. It's half on success. Yeah. It's that weird thing of it's not even like this is a charge, this is a passive ability with the Follocytes. So it's just a thing. So that's a d8. So we're going to roll that d8. And we're going to see what you get. I'm genuinely hoping you get good. You got a you got the petrifying claws. So I can actually just copy and paste it for you, so you don't have to try and, because it's actually kind of wordy for you. So NPC visuals I just put in there. Petrifying Claws. That's what it does. There you go. There's a lot to it. Okay. And then yeah. I'll also mention you'd see the Merkson look at you. Look over at the Follicite, and you would hear her just kind of go, well, that's no fair. You're going to eat his rocks, but you're not going to eat anything from me? Well, we can't have that. And you see her reach into her pocket, and she pulls out a jar with her missing eye. Uh-huh. Eat up, boss. Ally. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, of course. So, you either have a chance to get a +2 to your dex. You could learn Aquan. You could get a swimming speed of 60 feet because you'd be able to shapeshift your legs into a mermaid tail. That'd be honestly fucking hilarious for what you are. You could be... You could become amphibious. Let's see. You could get the lights of attraction, which makes you put out a 5 feet of dim light from every orifice and area of the body that is lighter colored than the rest. So your neck could put out a 5-foot glow of dim light. Which I know you're probably like, well, what use would that have to you? You'd learn their ability to use Morse code. Because what they do with the lights of attraction is that it's their way of communicating to each other without anyone knowing what they're saying. Because they have their own special version of Morse code that they do with their glowing ability. So they'll turn off their glowing ability off and on at like random intervals to type it. So you just learn that language. Their like custom language. That you can literally do silently. So unless people know what a Merkson is, they're not gonna know what the fuck. They're not gonna know that you're talking. As far as they know, you're just turning your dim lighting ability off and on. Let's see. And there's Ancestor's Psalm, which would you've seen that in action. Because Count Dragos used it in the fight against the Satyr. So that's 7. So I'm just going to roll a d8, and then if it rolls an 8, it will just also be a possibility for this the dex. That way you have 2 shots of boosting your stats, because you need it. So that's 1, 2, 3... Wait, no, this works out. Okay, because I forgot about one. That would have been in the d8s. And it actually landed on the thing I forgot about. So... you gain resistance to cold damage. Which means, since you're resistant to cold, suddenly that snow's not a problem for you anymore. Because your body's essentially, it's like for them it's more like, oh, their body's just so cold that they can just handle the cold and not really have much of a problem. For you, it's more that your body can overheat against the cold so well that it just basically fights against the whole problem of you possibly dying to cold. So you get cold resistance. Yeah, because you were vulnerable, weren't you? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, that is honestly actually really good for you, because you're living in the mountain area where there is a lot of snow. Like, that is weirdly a dangerous area for you. So... y'all have been lucky, because I've been rolling to see if monsters just attack your place. Because as far as those monsters probably know, y'all are just normal people. And y'all just haven't been attacked yet. Like, it's been that weird thing of y'all have gotten lucky with the rolls. But yeah. Yeah, so you gain those. And then you see... nah... You see the bulldog reach out some ramen and kind of like aim it at your head. Yeah, alright. It's good tasting ramen. Alright. I mean, technically the ramen is a part of his body, weirdly enough. Yeah, technically. Yeah, and this is from the monster version, so when you evolve it, it can probably give you something new, like... Oh, God. Okay. So either you could get a dex buff or a wisdom buff. Um, yep. That's three resistance types you could get. You could get the polymorph ability. With them, I actually do kind of have to pick which ones you could actually do, because some of these would require you to have an entire face around you, which wouldn't really be doable. Um, for reasons. Um, do you want a vase with ramen surrounding your body? Dude, that is the most, like, cursed thing. Dude. Dude, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so it's a okay, yeah, again, it's that weird thing if it was a D7. No, D8, because primordial is an option. Okay. So, now that's the why did I grab a D20? Okay, so it's still a D7 then. Okay, so 5. So you get that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, god damn, I'm trying to get you a stat buff and it's not happening. You get psychic resistance. Do you already have that? Okay. You got psychic resistance from the bulldog. Alright. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Booyah. Haha. Dude. Dude, you know, that would be that weird thing of like, it'd be less of like, it hurt, and more of, if he fails, he just has to deal with the fact that he's unconscious for a turn. Like, that's like the worst end of it. It's like, I mean, like, it's more of like that thing, it's like casting sleep on somebody and then having them woken up on the next turn. It's more of like that's just inconvenient. Oh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So, it's like... Well, should it be a first level or should it be a cantrip? But you don't want people like abusing it though either. Yeah, yeah, first level, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like the joking thing of like third level version of Wish. It's just called like Hope. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. uh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. God. Yeah, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. That, no, that's fair. She would make something like that. That is a very Vilva-esque thing to make. Oh, God. Yeah, yeah. Hello, air conditioning. Just the most like you're cheating him. I, I don't know what you want from me. Like the god looked at me and gave me this. I'm just stuck with it. Yeah. Oh, God. Yep. It's that weird thing that he's just like, alright, I've got all this knowledge at my hands. Too bad I don't know how to use it. Yeah. Wish I could read type of crap. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Because I was sitting here, I'm like, man, why is he just not getting anything useful? Like, Who knows? Yeah. If there is a frightened thing that I probably like, because I haven't got to make an actual sheet for that monster, and I probably will next session since you want to fight it. I know eventually you'll end up fighting it. Because I didn't know if you'd actually circle back to the thing or not. So it might get like a frightened roar thing because I haven't gotten everything fully established on, but that was like the base stuff. I was like, yeah, I know for sure it'll have this stuff. So, and if it does, I'll let you know in DMs, obviously, if that ends up becoming the case. So. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. You're welcome. See, he likes mine more than yours, dipshit. Dude, just the most, like, aggression. Nah, he likes me more type of shit. You've got, like, weirdly just, like, this really chill monster, and then you have these, like, overly competitive, like, people, because they aren't counts. They're just, like, the random henchmen and henchwomen. So they're kind of just here, like, yeah, no, I'm better than you, because he acknowledges me, but he didn't acknowledge you that way. Like... Oh yeah, no, like it's not gonna be good for people. Like I want you to understand, like Count, this whole campaign, if it all succeeds and Count Vaughn gets what he wants, this will put damage onto this world. Like this will impact very much the end effect to my world after Rum and Harbor. Like, ugh. Dragos might become one. Like, if it's an unlucky thing, he might actually become a BBEG, yeah. Uh-huh. The bigger thing is more of like, alright, we're gonna go find Count Urzog. We gotta get through all of his fucking generals. And there's 20 of them. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh jeez. But yeah, so I guess the question is, what are you gonna go do now? Yeah, it's more of like a tactical retreat type of thing than anything else. Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. You did. Yeah, it takes. You got when you got back down here. It was like midday. Then you went to go to the pond. That was like 2 hour trek. So it would be 2 hour trek back to the mountain. So by then it would be like 4 p.m. Probably like 4 p.m. You get back to base around like 11 p.m. around there. Yeah, that's fair. You will pass by Sir Festivus because he's out there with that aberrant mimic just holding the portal like, alright. I'm not seeing any sign of the frickin' aura coming back. Are you alive? Like, yeah. Alright, so on the spot, you see, you see, the Ubagabi grab a bundle of noodles and chuck it like it's a snowball. Not the Ubagabi, sorry, the Bulyog. As you see it hit some bird, and you see the bird go screeching and crash into the ground. So, it gives you a thumbs up before it begins eating again. Hell, hell yeah. Oh yeah, man. The oboes have been patiently waiting. Like, they have been the most patient guys. Like, it's like some of the others, like, man, when's it our turn? The oboes who've been there for, like, ages, like, take your time, boss. Yeah, it's that funny thing of, like, the oboes, if they are evolved, they could be really good, like, ground, like, you know, like, earth-based casters. It's just, they're not in any rush. Like, if you don't do it, it's whatever. If you do it, cool. Like, they're like, just very neutral people. They're just like, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you still end up wanting to evolve them, like, you could say screw it. That choice is always up to you. Um, true, true. Oh yeah. But yeah. So it's a dire pigeon. Um, yeah, yeah. I have a stat block up for them. So what? Uh huh. You want to know what they're? You want to know what they're aligned as? You know how there's like, oh, there's beast, there's fey. They're set up as minor annoyance. So they, I love this stat block. Action wise, they have tripping hazard, poop attack, and pestilence. Tripping hazard, the dire pigeon gets caught under your foot and is considered rough terrain. They don't even like knock you prone; they're just rough terrain. Um, the poop attack has a +1 to hit, 25-foot range. You're not getting that. I'm sorry, I'm not having that shit. That's a weird random pun I just made unintentionally. Pestilence, which is a disease attack. +5 to hit, reach 5 feet, multiple targets, so just anyone within 5 feet of you. It does a D4 -2 of sickness. It gives people filth and mites. And they have to roll a con save of DC 5 to avoid you throwing filth and mites at them. So you just throw bugs at them. Like, it's... Yeah, me neither. Uh, they have... Not good, yeah. Also, like, idiocy is a thing, is their only trait they get. And it's like, that dire pigeon has disadvantage on wisdom survival checks on any encounter. So, what we're gonna do, you can just either get a stat buff, or you could get a +2 to perception. Okay, so let me see, what are their good stats? Do they have any? They have... Why do they have good con? Wait, no, their stat block doesn't make any sense. It's like, the con stat block is 2, but they get a +5. Dude, I love their stuff makes no sense and I love it. Their strength is an 8, but it gives them a +9. They have a dex of 1, but they have a +0. An int of 3, but they get a -4. A 0 wisdom, so they get a +0. The only one that... Wait, no, that also doesn't make sense. And a charisma of 3, giving them a -1. So... I guess strength, because they have a +9 for some reason. Okay, so we'll put con and strength. How about that? So it's like a con, strength, and dex, and then perception. So that way it can fit onto a d4. Okay, so. Okay, yeah, you got con. So you get a +1 to your con. Yeah. Dude, it's so stupid. So, yeah, you'll start making your way over to Sir Fesifus. And, you start making your way over to him. He has pulled up, like, it's either he brought it from down the mountain, or, from up on top of the mountain, brought it down the mountain, or he just made one when he got to the forest. But he's just sitting on, like, a wooden stool. Like, he's just reading his book, waiting. Like, every now and then you see him take a quick glance towards the portal, but, like, yeah. Yeah. It's that weird, like, alright. God damn it. Oh. Aww. Yeah, no, I'll be real. He went down the mountain, like, in the beginning of the morning, I think, if I remember right. Because that's when you sent him, technically. So, he's been down here for a bit. But if for all you know, he could be here for days. Because you don't know how long it's going to take for the aberrant aura to find its own kind. He did give it a deadline. He gave it a week deadline. Because otherwise he will assume that it is dead, and he will close up the portal. Let's hope, man. That'd be a weirdly useful, like, lizard folk person. With, like, multiple eyes. Hey, it's fair, dude. I get it. But yeah, no, he'd look over to you. He sees you approaching. It's going. Just waiting. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Sadly enough. I haven't seen any actions from the aberrant aura. I don't imagine he's going to be one to go out of his way to let me know how it's going. I'll probably know when he comes back, or I'll know when I have to close the portal and have to assume he's dead. I'm hoping so too. I would have gone with it to try and, keep it alive, but I kinda need to be on this side of the portal. Yeah. That's up to you. Counting on how long I'm down here, it might be good to have someone, just in case. But if you do, I'd recommend sending someone down here that wouldn't look suspicious. A wizard being down in the middle of nature with a portal open is already a little suspicious, but I can probably find ways to get around that. However, I'm sorry, if you send something like a random droster down here, that's going to be suspicious. There's no talking my way out of that. Be suspicious. Yeah. Mia, yeah, you send Mia down there. The people in the town know Mia, so at least some people do. So, like, that is that thing of, like, there's legit just a chance, like, someone comes in and actually sees it. It's like, oh, it's Mia. What are you doing? Oh. I mean, on the bright side, like, she might just be able to keep them distracted and pull them away from the conversation of what she's doing. Her one big thing is charisma at the end of the day with her being a warlock, so. Yeah. But that's up to you. Oh yeah, no, it's the most like you let the cream of the crop die. It's like, dude, it was like he was just like average. Like I don't. Yeah, for that race, quote unquote average is like. Oh man. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. You have a few like races that can kind of blend in. Like the Latimeria can. Um Latimeria can, Summer Kitsunes can, what else? What else? Weirdly enough, no, they couldn't. No, no. Yeah, no, like that's kind of really your only options, actually. Yeah, like, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Detrila, you're staying at base. Yeah, she has it down. It's really like, if we're being honest with her body type, the big problem is just not having the bowstring snap her chest. If we're being honest, that is like the one problem. You know how you see some people where like instead of aiming the bow in the normal way, they'll like tilt the bow horizontally and shoot. She's having to learn to shoot like that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Sure. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean that actually kind of works. Yeah, that definitely works. So yeah, you can do that 100%, not a problem. Oh man. All right. Yeah, you do that. Um so you can, I guess after that, unless you have something else you want to do with him, you can start heading up the mountain. Of course, of course. There is one thing I can do. It's honestly entangle the words in such a confusing manner that they won't know what I'm talking about. I do it all the time to all the idiots over there. It gets them to leave me alone. Yeah, because it's the most like he can do that with like maybe one or two of the Latimeria to get them to leave him. That doesn't really work that well in the Latimeria because a lot of them are kind of naturally smart. But it's more of like, yeah, the things like the galaxy foxes and like the like the oboes and like the druster, like they look at him and it's like, yeah, like what are you doing him? Well, you see, I'm looking to the psychological impact within the constructive. Okay, that's too many big words. Shut the fuck up. On goal. Man. He would let you know. He would just go, by the way, before you leave, it's probably a good thing that you're sending people down there. I've been seeing some light creature, activity near the portal. So I don't know if creatures are thinking of trying to go through or not, or if they're simply ignoring it. But I have seen that. It's been the same creature. It's a bit... Doesn't have a face. It has a somewhat human-ish body. It has cat-like ears, but it looks like its body's made not out of flesh, but rather probably out of stone or something. I don't know what it's made out of. Or it is actual skin, and it's just obscenely slick. But it seems to create just like a billowing cape for itself out of like blue magic. But stands around the height of a tabaxi, so around like 3 to 4 feet in height. Nah. God. It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Latimiria? Oh, okay. Mm. Yeah. Alright, I've gotcha. Mm-hmm. Alright, boss, I gotcha. I'll try and stealth. With her +4. 23. Rolled well. Sir Comatose, you see, he rolled a nat one, so I'm gonna be straight up honest. You're like, alright, I'm gonna go do that. And you just get that feeling he didn't hear what you said. Like, he was actively, like, distracted. Alright, yeah, you, like, lightly look over, like, huh? Okay. Yep. Gotcha, boss. Where'd that fucking fox go? Somewhere. I saw it somewhere. Roll a perception, sure. Yeah, go for it. You don't see a fox, but you do see a floxern. Make sure Selena never fucking hears about it. Alright. You see it kind of like look over to you, like, It's just like, uh, what? Oh god, it's a two leg. Oh god. Yeah, it's just giving that look like, it's a two leg. Ah, okay. Yeah? I mean, it might be able to speak to you. It's just like, it might just be choosing not to. Like, it's just looking like, I'm being called at. It evolves. Alright, man or woman. Alright. You see him like just basically naked currently. Floxer and look at you, look down, put his hand up for a moment, goes behind a tree, comes back with clothes and a fucking battle axe. And you can see behind that tree there is like a hand of some dead guy. Oh, what race? Alright, let's see. Huzzah! Alright, so you look over. It looks to have been possibly, just possibly an orc. It has a lot of singe marks, so either the Floxern killed him, or Fesifus killed him. Oh? No. There's only one fire thing that's nearby. I want to mention, I now have an image for you. Like, it is a jacked summer kitsune. Like, he has some fucking muscle behind him. I bet you're gonna show his picture on OBS. He doesn't have a name or anything. Like, he just came into existence. This is just who he is. It's just like Phlox, and he grabbed like a black sweater that was kind of tight on the orc, and it's a little bit tighter on him. He actually has a little bit more muscle definition than the orc. Red fur. He's got a lot more of that primordial kitsune than the normal kitsune, so he doesn't have like the human face and all that. It's like full fox, like anthropomorphic fox. Jeans, and then he has like some like iron guards like around his like thighs. So it's not a lot of armor, but he has a little bit of armor. And then like the freaking like hand axe and the battle axe, which is essentially just a great axe essentially. Red eyes too. Pretty muscular guy. Yeah. Orc body, yeah. Alright, yeah, let's see. I need to get up the thing. Orc race. I need to get up, also have to see what all you could get from Orc race. D&D 5th edition. So, you could get a +2 to your strength. Adrenaline rush. Which would get, you can take the dash action as a bonus action. You can use this trade as number of time equal to, no, that's stupid. We already do that. The orcish endurance, that feat. What's that feat? The one where they literally just, the orc can get back up. Orcish endurance? Yeah. Orcish endurance. I'm not going to give you the power. Yeah? True. True. It also avoids you from having to do a reckless dash. Because I allow a reckless dash where you can do the full dash as a bonus action, but it gives people an advantage to hit you. It's half a movement if you do a normal dash with the bonus action. But you can do a full. Yeah, yeah. You can get the full movement with a bonus action if you do the reckless dash, but that gives people that gives enemies advantage to hit you for like until like the next turn. So it's kind of a risk or reward. Yeah. Yeah. No, I've had that for a while. I've said it actually a few times before at this point. Ah. See, this is why, honestly, we need to just write. I need to write down all the rules and stuff. Because I'm honestly wondering if I just fucking mistold you wrong. Um. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know you had done any reckless dashes. So, like, as far as I was aware, I was like, yeah, no, he's just in a normal dash. That's why nobody ever rolled advantage on you at any point in time. So, I probably misspoke then. Yeah, I need to write it down into the rule section in Discord. I'll do that when we get done, as long as you remind me, or as long as I remember one of the two. Um, but yeah, so there would be the adrenaline rush that could be useful. So strength, rush, the relentless endurance, orcish, and yeah. There's a different version of Orc that's made by Valo's Guide Monster. Let me see if they have any different stuff that you can get from it. Um, Aggressive. As a bonus action, you can move up to your speed towards an enemy of your choice that you can see or hear. You must end this move closer to the enemy than you started. That's essentially just a worse version of Adrenaline Rush. No. Um, you could get Primal Intuition, which gives you proficiency in two of the following choices of either Animal Handling, Insight, Intimidation, Medicine, Nature, Perception, or Survival. We're just going to remove that one because there's not any more past the D5. So that way you just have the D4 to roll off of it. Okay, D4. See what you get. You got Relentless Endurance. So, yeah. So instead of dropping to 0 directly, you'll go to 1 HP. So you have that Orcish Relentless Endurance that you gain from this. I want to mention, like, you go to, like, probably, like, eat from this guy, and you see the Kitsu just, like, bring up his axe and cut off the hand and hand it to you for you to eat. Yeah, yeah. I won't mention, he's, like, a weirdly just quiet person. Like, he speaks when he needs to, but it's just that, like, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, man. But yeah. Um, Besides that, do you plan to head up the mountain? Damn it. Okay, what about the Kitsune? Because that would be three leaving behind then. I was alone. The rest of my pack was sold off. There's a reason why I was willing to join the second you mentioned killing humans. We free my brethren? I'll make it worth your while. Uh huh. Yeah, yeah, you see her just go, those other monsters that are being held up in the nearest town with my brethren. And I'm sure they'd love revenge. Oh yeah. Yes. Hmm. You'd see, you'd see from behind, because I'm guessing y'all haven't gone up the mountain just yet. Um, you would see from afar, the Merkson, Miss Alatrisa, just kind of look to you and just go, "I can alter your appearance." Yeah, I have a spell called Alter Self. I can just make you look like something else. Yeah. 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 God. Oh, man. I have this! Oh, man. I mean, with it being a scroll, you just gotta, like, prepare it 5 minutes before. With it being, like, a more, like, ritualistic one, this one you just have to prepare it, like, 5 minutes before you go do the thing. And then you'd be able to cast a spell on yourself. Because it was a disguise self, right? Yeah. Yeah, so just, like, it would last for, like, half a day. So you'd have, like, half a day to, like, blend in with the town and get your information. Heck yeah. Yeah, yeah. It would be a one-time use. Heck yeah. Um, yeah. You can start heading up the mountain. Uh, as you head up, I went ahead, I rolled some, special, little rolls like I do. Because I'm just built different like that. Um, Now, also, it was rolling during the forest. The forest, there was nothing that was happening. Like, it was that weird thing of, like, I was like, is anything gonna happen? 17. Nothing happens. And I was like, alright, up the mountain. Something might happen. Who knows? I can't say. But as you're heading up, you, probably like around halfway, you can start hearing some light sound. It sounds like some thuds. It's not like, yeah, it's like almost like thunderous thuds. Like it's not like you hear the thud and then you can feel like a little bit of the ground shake type of like thud. It doesn't sound like footsteps. It sounds more like something's like hitting the ground, probably. Yeah. 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 All right. So as you start getting closer, you can hear a mixture of what sounds like some type of like almost like just like angry yell from a monster. And then you can also hear like essentially the growling of like some type of wolf. As you can see, two different monsters clashing right now. As one of them is actually one that you were told about by Fesifus. as one of the ones you see is called the homebrewed, which is a wolf-based monster. There's two of them. One of them is like basically unconscious right now. Let me, God, where'd it go? I literally just, there it is. I'm trying to put it up on OBS. It's just like white, silver, like, you know, like basically snow white furred, wolf that has like patches of black on like, around like its chest area going down to like its hind legs around like the belly area. Its tail is more blackish. And like the ears and around the snout area is more black, but a lot of the fur is relatively like a snow white. And there's like this like, essentially like almost like a stone or tree or something of that sort. This basically begins to grow out of the fur. Kind of like detailing around like the chest near neck area where like a bright blue like light basically glows out. For the one that's unconscious, that glow is not coming out right now. But you can see this thing's like actively growling and like facing down the other current monster. Which hovers over this thing. Like, this wolf is probably around, like, 8 feet in height. Like, it's a relatively big wolf. It's not as big as, like, a timber wolf, like, let's say. Because I think timber wolves are around, like, 10 feet in height, if I remember right. Like, they're fairly big creatures. However, the thing it's facing down is I gotta actually pull up the stat block for this thing. It is a 17-foot tall blizzard gorilla, which are like, yeah, these gorillas have been known to beat the shit out of giants. Yeah. Possibly. You know, you like, yeah, I'm sorry. So you would know this. These things typically have a territory of 5 miles, and same thing goes for soul broods. Um, the thing about these things, is that, because of how big these things are, they can't just rely off of vegetation, like some gorillas do. Uh, they become omnivores, essentially. So, this thing's most likely just looked at the soul brood and went, you're in my territory, and the soul brood probably went, nah, you're in my territory. Food. Like, it's that weird thing that both of them are looking at the other, like, you're food, and you're in my territory, type of shit. Yeah, then there's you. Like... You see the fire consumed, kind of like looking at you like, what are we doing? Yeah, yeah. Alright. Alright. Who knows? I believe. Mm-hmm. Whoa. So what are you doing? Yeah. Ah. There's always ways to talk about things. You just gotta know where to aim. That's the big thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they typically would try to avoid that. So most likely one of them already had it as their territory, and then the other one probably didn't know. And so when they set down their territory, there was probably like well, we gotta pick who has territory now, so one of us is gonna lose their territory. Soul broods. No, you're good. So, let me give you some information. With the blizzard gorilla, blizzard gorillas stand on a whopping 17 feet on average. They traverse mountains, often living by themselves. They only live in search for a pack during mating season. So typically they're by themselves unless it's mating season. Mating season only happens once every 5 years during winter. Once the child is grown enough to hunt and it has learned how to hunt, the mother will leave the pack while the father is left to watch over the child. Once the child becomes an adult, the father and the son or daughter will separate. Blizzard gorillas are omnivores, as most plants do not create enough fruit to sustain the gorillas. They create territories that span not 10 miles out, ravaging and eating anything that moves into its territory or attempts to pass by. If there is a horde of prey, it will spare the young so they can bear children, so it can continue to eat the food later on. So they are smart. Like, they do actually go like, no, let the children survive, so they can continue my food cycle for food. But they have been known to I need to change that a little bit on there. It says a snowtail has a multi-attack of 3. It's not a snowtail. What was the full question about? Just to re-jog my memory. But that is like the main description bit that I have written down for the gorilla. So, they are chaotic neutral. They probably have ran into humans. It's normally a thing of, if a human sees one, they turn around and go the other way. But these things have just gone out of their way at times to just grab a person and just tear them apart because they can. Fair. As for the soul brood, let me grab his stuff. Soul broods. They are massive wolves that reach around 8 to 10 feet in height by simply sitting up. They rarely hunt in packs, but their insane memory allows them to remember when other soul brood dens are at. This information is relative, as they do their best to make sure that they don't enter other soul brood hunting territory. They have cold and force resistance. Combative-wise, they can activate their mana to create a 15-foot aura of freezing cold wind, then it circles around them. This wind slowly slows their prey's movement down, prevents them from being able to use reactions, and deals passive cold damage. They can heal from tearing chunks of flesh off of enemies, and can summon a row of floating icicles above its head, and launch it towards its prey. With it being considered a, witch's companion and also a witch's monster, it's that weird thing of, with witches, they have great connections, so they're, naturally happy to be around witches. But, around just normal humans, it's 50-50 for them. Because it really counts on, it counts on what witch their entire ancestry has stemmed from, if that makes sense. So, to be more clear on this, because there are some other, the hoo-hoos were also a thing of, they're normally a witch's familiar, meaning that there was a witch at some point on this island. Basically meaning, it all depends, because there's only been one witch known to man that has been on this island, as far as y'all know. So, whatever that witch's neutrality was, would determine whether this thing loves or fucking hates humans. Because they basically pick it up from their ancestors. They will carry grudges against humans for over generation to generation. Yeah, yeah, they're like crows in that matter. Okay. Yeah, it's that weird thing. One of his big things is his aura thing, and because this is also something that is, since it's fighting the gorilla, which is immune to cold, it's that weird thing of like it has a very uphill battle. Yeah, those Silber's unconscious. These things have around 100, health, like on average. Um, a Blizzard Gorilla, on average, because you get the stat blocks that information because of what you are. They have an average of 232 HP. Um, yes, they hit harder. It's like half health. So like the gorilla's like, he's like bloodied. And the one that's still standing up, when it comes to the soul broods, is bloodied. So it's like 50 versus 100 type of thing, like guess estimation. You would see the gorilla and the soul brood like give a very quick glance, like what the fuck is that thing? Like they just watched some weird looking like kobold gecko thing with like the worst fashion sense known to mankind walk up and start speaking in monster. Yeah. Yeah, no, like it's a weird thing because it's like, all right, well, we've got that guy speaking monstrous, and then there's a red kitsune behind them, and an aberrant mimic that's eating ramen. So you're saying this, and they've at least gone from circling each other to they're at least holding a stance. So they're at least listening. But they aren't dropping their fighting stance either. Yeah. So you can see the soul brood kind of give you the look of like, okay, it's more of like a neutral like, okay, I'm kind of listening. Like you can't really quite get a gauge on whether or not how they feel about humans from that, because normally you can kind of look at the facial expressions, but you're not quite getting a specific gauge from it. Um, Whereas you would see the gorilla look at you and just look to you and go, my territory. You want to take island, but my territory. good food source. Farm. What plan? You. Yep. You can. You can roll me a You can roll me a a persuasion check. Yeah, no, it's valid. Yeah. Oh, that would be, yeah. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Ma, 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 ma. It doesn't say that. Oh, heck yeah. Not 20. Hell yeah, okay. So, yeah, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, that would have been a three-way fight at that point. Yeah, no, you would see the gorilla just kind of like glance between the soul brood and you. And you see the soul brood kind of do the same. They kind of lock eyes with each other like, alright, alright. You're not gonna throw hands with me, right? Are we stop? Is this where we're ending this? Alright, this is where we're ending this. Alright. I'm gonna slowly leave my stance and hope you don't raise your hand and slam it down on my back. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you would see him actually kind of like trot over to his companion. And then you see the gorilla just look to you and just go, "We kill. My cave that way." And he points to his cave. You realize his cave is that cave that was thought to be a trollkin's cave. Yeah. Yeah. You see, you would see him put his hand down onto the ground in front of you with his palm facing upwards. Hop on. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, no, that's fair. Yeah, yeah, he hops on as well. He's like, I guess we're doing this. you, yeah. You would see, yeah, you see him basically place you guys just on his back, and then he grabs the two wolves with his other hand. He he carries the one that's like actively like unconscious a lot more like carefully. Like he just grabs it like with his fingertips, like kind of carrying it by like the neck, like the scruff of the neck essentially. And then he begins, like, basically bringing you guys up the mountain. I want to mention, it takes you guys, like, normally when you guys going up and down the mountain, it already takes you a little bit longer than just your normal 30 feet base, because it's kind of, like, difficult terrain for a lot of you. Weirdly enough, because you're going up and down a heavy incline with snow. He traverses this without any problem. Like, with an obscene amount of ease. Well, there's a cliff edge he, like, goes up to, and he just reaches up and grabs it. And just climbs up. So he doesn't have to go around the long way. But he would... he would bring you to his cave. To show you his cave. Basically, he's just letting you know, hey, you can find me in my cave if you need me for anything. But this is my home. Yeah. I'll be real, that's most of the island. Dude, this is like a 12-mile long island. Yeah. You can probably guess that's probably why the Soulbrood was unable to avoid making territory in his territory. Because it's the most like, you took over the island, basically. I'm a mountain creature. There's no mountain for me. Like, it's that weird, like, Yeah. Um, yeah. Heck yeah. And yeah, you now have the Blizzard Gorilla. You got to see his base. Oh, mention that base. Like, there's just bone carcasses. There was bone carcasses in there, man. Like, just skeletons of dead bodies. Like, that was, like, a lot of that. Man, it probably hadn't cleaned out his cave in a bit. Oh, jeez. But yeah. It's a Blizzard Gorilla. Yeah. So, I can send you his actual sheet, but just so you actually get to know what he all can do. He has an AC of 15, 232 HP, a speed of 40 feet base, and a climb of 30 feet, a strength of 22, a dex of 16, a con of 20, an int of 15, a 14 wisdom, and 11 charisma. He has a plus 12 to strength saving throws and a plus 11 in con. Athletics of plus 10 and perception of plus 6. He has damage resistances to any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing that is non-magical, and immunity to cold, and he is immune to the grappled. Like, giants can't even properly grapple this thing. He has a passive perception of 12. He has a trait called the Mountainous Giants. They're massive creatures standing at a whopping 17 feet in height. Their powerful bodies can hurl up to 700 pounds worth of weight. They deal double damage to structures. They have snow camouflage, allowing them to get advantage to stealth in snowy terrain. So while he might not have a modifier to his stealth, he has advantage. And Primal Bloodlust. The terrifying variant of Gorilla gains advantage on its next attack whenever it knocks down or kills an enemy. So, it just knocked down that Soulbrood, meaning it had advantage on that next attack it was gonna do. It has a multi-attack of 3, and it has 3 actions. It has Slam, Swatting Strike, and Pitcher's Arm. Slam is pretty obvious. It It basically intertwines its fingers together and clasps its hands as it slams down onto the target. It's plus 9 to hit, 2d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage, and can knock the target prone. Swatting Strike. The gorilla swings its hand at the target in a swatting motion. It's a plus 9 to hit, a d10 plus 6 of bludgeoning damage, and knocks the target 15 feet away. Pitcher's Arm. The gorilla may choose to either grab an object or another target within 5 feet of it and attempt to throw it at the target as its choice of weapon. Should it choose to throw another target, it must be medium or smaller. The target must roll a DC 17 strength save to not be thrown. So it's essentially like, it's basically against just like athletics, essentially. It's a plus 8 to hit, 60-foot range, and a 2d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage to the target that gets collided into by said thrown target or object. And if the object's thrown with a creature, they also take the bludgeoning damage dealt to the target. Even if he misses the throw, but he managed to throw a creature, they will still take the damage because they're taking fall damage at that point, and the thrown creature ends up prone. He also has Primal Rage, which is a bonus action, where he can become increasingly angry, allowing it to boost its movement by 10 feet, applying an additional 1d4 bludgeoning damage per strike, and reducing all damage by 1d6 for one turn. It can only do that twice in a combat. But it means that there are like 2 turns where it can just get obscenely angry, deal extra damage, reduce damage dealt to it, and boost its movement. That is the Blizzard Gorilla. Yeah. I don't have a stat sheet made for the Soulbirds yet, so I'll have to make that myself. I'll have to make that sometime later on. But yeah, you avoided a natural fight with that thing, because I'm going to be honest, that would have sucked. Yeah. Heck yeah. Hell yeah. He's counting everybody. $18. Hell yeah. 2 more. Hell yeah. Let's go. You have gorilla. Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, that's fair. That's fair, because, like, it does kind of pose a problem in the long scheme of things. Yeah, and it's that weird thing, it's like a weirdly aggro thing, because even though it's an ally, it's still a thing of, like, that thing at some point is gonna want to keep its territory. And when you start taking over the island, considering the territory is the whole island, there's gonna be problems. So, it makes sense that eventually you might just go, you know, I gotta do something about this. Oh, man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's fair. It's fair. Dude, end of the end of the campaign. You just got done with the final siege. Suddenly, 13 Hawacha arrows to the back of this gorilla. uh. Yeah. Heck yeah. Angie. Oh man. But yeah. Er. Rah. Oh man. But yeah, that would be the end of all the goofiness. Um, you can get back to your kingdom. And before we end off, I'll at least let you know that Count Zumagig would he would at least give you a little info, a little bit of a hey. By the way, it's a small cat with dragon wings. Valid, valid. um, and then the one other thing that could be mentioned, you are now seeing that some of those goblins that have been mentioned before, goblins and hobgoblins, have moved in. So, not all of them, because it was mentioned that they keep a portion of the tribe into the forest and maintained by one of the other hobgoblins, so that way people don't grow suspicious. But, yeah. Alright, that is where we'll. Hmm? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, God. Either way, thank you all for watching this episode. You can find more of this type of content up on the Lost Shipyard, where you can find more of the Monster Campaign. We also have some other things like Amnesia Campaign, Duped Campaign, Sanity Campaign. And when this one ends, because it's only supposed to be a mini like campaign, well, then we'll have the next big one coming in, which I'm really excited for. And then, if you want to find some other stuff, we have on the Lush Shipyard, Lost Harbor Tavern, up on YouTube and on Spotify. We have Ramen Harbor Campaign. We have the Brothel Campaign. We have the Hidden Garden Campaign. There's so many things. Go check it out. We've been doing this for 2.5 years now at this point. It's going for a bit. But I definitely recommend go check it out. We got a lot of content out there. So thank you guys for watching this episode. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!